It's about time. The Patriots have finally signed, and it's crazy, a guy with a title. Bill O'Brien is making his return. He was a head coach with the Texans before he moved on to Penn State and then eventually moved on to Alabama, but he was a coach for the Patriots from 2007 all the way to 2011, and then he moved on to the Texans, and then he went back to college, but now he's back. Bill O'Brien is back as the OC and as the quarterbacks coach for the New England Patriots. So that means a bunch of things here. The first thing is Joe Judge is out of a job because Joe Judge was the QB coach. And Matt Patricia is seemingly, he's sort of being, brushed away. But it looks like the report is that Joe Judge is actually going to stay. Matt Patricia's future is up in the air. Joe Judge will stay at a reassigned role.
I bet they'll put him back on the special teams.
They may.
They should, given they gave up 2 kick returns for touchdowns in one game.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. But with the
most important game of the season, by the way.
Yeah, I would say so. So, do you think the signing of Bill O'Brien, the return of Bill O'Brien, is the missing link for the Patriots' success offensively?
Yes.
You think so? Problems solved now?
Yeah, I think so.
Why do you think that?
Because I think Bill O'Brien is a quality guy. He was the offensive coordinator for the Patriots a number of years ago. They had a lot of success with him. Of course, they had Tom Brady as a quarterback. That had a lot to do with it as well. But I think he's somebody that Belichick respects and likes. And Belichick says he likes to work with people he likes. So I think that he's an excellent choice. And I would say, Belichick, he's going to coach, I think maybe 3 more years, probably. He wants to win the.
He's 31 wins away from
31 wins.
So it'd be more like 4. It would be more 4 seasons.
4 seasons. If this works out well, then you could see Bill O'Brien being the heir apparent.
Could be.
And he wouldn't be a bad choice either because he has had coaching experience and he had quite a bit of success with the Texans, actually. So I think he's a great choice, and I think we'll really find out now whether Mac Jones is the real deal or not, right? Because there's no excuses now. This guy's a proven OC. And has a great pedigree, lots of experience coaching both at the college and the pro level. And he's a successful coach. And we'll see how Mac Jones does in his system.
Okay, that's fair. I'm going to say, when this first came out that the Patriots are going to sign Bill O'Brien back as the OC, and then eventually he was added to the QB coach as well. My first thought was, yeah, no, problem solved. They have everything they need. And then I dug a little bit deeper. The Patriots rankings for multiple sets of positions. Defensive line, they were ranked 23rd. Linebacker, 19th. Defensive back, 26th. Wide receiver, 20th. Running backs, 15th. Offensive line, 11th. Quarterback, 24th. Total defense was 8th, large in part due to the rushing defense. Total offense was 26th. That does not scream that one guy could change everything. I think they need a lot of pieces. Jonathan Jones is a free agent this year. He was moved from his previous position. He was more of a nickel cornerback. He was brought in as a primary coverage cornerback. He got burned by every decent to great wide receiver this year.
Oh, we probably won't bring him back.
He was horrible. The next guy to step up, who would that be? Jalen Mills? They have nobody in the cornerback position. They gave up
Marcus Jones.
Marcus Jones. He's a nickelback. He's not a coverage cornerback. He's also tiny.
No, but tiny. He started. He was the starting cornerback there in the last few games of the season. He did very well. He played very well.
He got smoked. He's also 5'9", 185. Most wide receiver ones are in the 6'3", 200 range. Mm-hmm. That means you're gonna get bodied and you're gonna get mossed if they throw a jump ball.
Well.
They got rid of the best cornerback in the league just because he would cost some money. And this is what Bill Belichick does.
He did nothing this year, though. He
got hurt. But we had to realize the Chargers defense fell apart early in the year. They were really good in the first game, fell apart throughout the year.
Well, when did J.C. Jackson get hurt? He wasn't until the 3rd or 4th game, right?
Yeah. So
he was terrible the first 3 games he played.
No, right? That's true. But it was a whole different defensive scheme, whole different defensive system, different defensive coaching. I think Bill Belichick brought out a phenomenal coverage system that worked really well with J.C. Jackson. And also, the players need to regain their trust in Bill Belichick and the entire coaching staff. Because there was a report out, there was a beautiful article written by the name of Andrew Callahan for the Boston Herald titled "Inside the Most Dysfunctional Patriots Season Under Bill Belichick." Quote, "I've never seen anything like it." So what this article talks a lot, this is a perfect example of really, really good journalism. Several sources, which are obviously Patriots players or Patriots executives.
Anonymous.
People very, very close to
Anonymous.
Patriots players. A lot of the players, and these are just some of the quotes that were in this article, quote, "I've never seen anything like it. It was disheveled. They were they were always scrambling to get things done. It's always been about winning and doing what's best for the team. I really believe Belichick when he says that. I just think he really didn't understand how hard it was gonna be." Or, in other words, from another source, as it says, "I love Coach Belichick, but he effed us." And it just goes on about how bad, they were set up to fail. This beautiful article goes on about how Joe Judge would come in and act like the big dog, and him and Mac Jones just did not get along. And Mac Jones asked to be coached harder because that's what Mac Jones loves the details. He loves to know why things work the way they do, how it could be better. I'm pretty sure everyone remembers that clip of I think Tom Brady missed a play, and then Bill O'Brien came over, grilled Brady, and Brady gave it right back to him.
I remember that.
That's what Mac Jones is looking for. And I guarantee you that's what's going to happen. Mac Jones may complain on a bad call. Bill O'Brien's going to give it right back to him, or at least he should. A lot of these players feel like they were set up to fail. They also, this article goes on talking about how Matt Patricia didn't know what the hell he was doing. They had a certain amount of plays. They cut the running plays in half. And the passing plays, there were like 10 passing plays that they had. They had no passing scheme whatsoever. They barely had a running scheme. And this is what I've been saying from the start. And you said, "Oh, they'll fix it. They'll fix it. They'll fix it." They never fixed it. And honestly, Bill Belichick. And this goes on about how Joe Judge was kind of phased out by October. Bill Belichick never made any adjustments. And then, he was asked towards the end of the year, well, will there be any adjustments made to the offense? And Belichick said, it's a little too late for adjustments. It's a little too late for anything big. So he made a change too late. And also, I think Bill O'Brien needs to understand who your best players are out there. I looked this up because I was very curious, and I saw it, and I believed it. I talked about Tyquan Thornton and why the hell is he getting he's a rookie receiver, and he's outpacing a wide receiver who almost had 1,000 yards in his first season with the Patriots, Kendrick Bourne. This season, Tyquan Thornton played 65.5% of the offensive snaps, 22 catches, 246 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's this year. Last year for Kendrick Bourne had 51.5% of the offensive snaps, 55 catches, 800 yards, 5 touchdowns. This season, 44.3%, 35 catches, 434 yards, 1 touchdown. Played less offensive snaps, got more receptions, more yards, and 1 fewer touchdown. Kendrick Bourne was a better receiver. He may be the second best receiver on the Patriots, and he got used basically at the bottom of the barrel as a wide receiver 4 for whatever reason. I think we're going to see a version of Jonnu Smith for the Patriots this year that we saw at the end of the Titans run when Jonnu Smith was, finishing up his run with the Titans. And I think they're going to go back to a 2 tight end setup. Aaron Hernandez, Rob Gronkowski. It's now going to be Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith. Now, Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith are nowhere near as talented as Gronk and Hernandez were, but I see a lot of comparisons between how Aaron Hernandez played and how Jonnu Smith played. Jonnu Smith is a leaner, quicker tight end. He's not built big. But that's more Hunter Henry, a.k.a. Rob Gronkowski. Aaron Hernandez was a halfback. Yeah. He got the ball handed to him sometimes by Brady. They've done that. I think they've done that a couple times with Jonnu Smith, hand the ball off to him. And I think Bill O'Brien may bring that back from the early 2010s.
Okay, well, that may be a good strategy, but Jonnu Smith better hang on to the ball because he had a bunch of turnovers in his first year, and he cost him some games. So I think that they'll be careful about getting him too much involved in the offense. We'll see.
Well, you can't. You're paying him. Right now the tight ends for the Patriots next year are a $35 million cap hit. The most by far in the league when it comes to tight ends. So I don't think you just give up on a player like that.
Well, O'Brien.
And by the way,
give him a hard look, I'm sure.
By the way, you talked about his fumbling issue. I have it here. He had 2 fumbles, 2 years.
Yeah.
So he didn't have a fumble
drop
issue.
passes and penalties and tough and very critical spots.
Drop passes. He had 6 over 2 years.
And how about the penalties?
That's not a stat.
It should be because he had some penalties in critical situations that were not good.
So I don't think he had a drop
perform up to his salary. That's for sure.
Well, I agree with you there, but I just think that they didn't know how to scheme for two really good tight ends.
Maybe.
And I think that's what Bill O'Brien brings to the table, 2 really, really good tight end formations. I mean, the success of the Patriots were one of the highest scoring teams when Bill O'Brien was in charge of how the offense was really working.
I had Tom Brady, too.
I agree with you there. But the way it was schemed was beautiful. And even in Alabama, one of the highest scoring teams per game. I think Alabama averaged like 40 points a game when Bill O'Brien was in charge of that offense.
41.6.
I'm sorry. Hey, there you go. More than 40. I undercut it, which was, I think, was like, what, 5th in college football.
It was good.
So that's what Bill O'Brien
won a national championship, too, with him. Or they went to the national championship. Did they win it? Not last.
I think Bill O'Brien was at the end of Mac Jones's run. So that would be what, 2020?
No, he was Jones was transitioning out when O'Brien got there.
And so Mac Jones, I think for like 1 month or like a couple weeks, it helped them just understand where they were. So they have, I'm not going to say a great relationship or really any relationship because it seemed like, Mac Jones was on his way out. Bill Brown was just coming in. So we're going to see. But I think Mac Jones is going to get coached much harder. I think this offense should look better because guess what? They actually have an offensive guy calling offensive plays. Bill Belichick tried an experiment.
I'm excited about it. I think it's good.
I'm thrilled because the Patriots actually, I agree with you though. Now not only does Mac Jones not have an excuse, the Patriots offense does not have an excuse unless Belichick has a normal Belichick draft and drafts next to nobody or trade away all of his picks for Lord knows what reason. So at least if you're going to trade away your picks, go get a legitimate receiver. Because once again, your wide receiver core
might need
was
a little
ranked
help
20th.
on the offensive line, too.
I agree with you there. Trent Brown, you talk about underplaying this year. Trent Brown was one of the most penalized players in the league. 6'8", 360, and he gets. I expect him at least block something. He blocks nothing, absolutely nothing. So the Patriots need some help, and even defensively.
Was he signed for only 1 year? I don't know.
Let's look up his contract. No, I think he signed an extension, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Trent Brown's contract, you're right, 1 year, $9 million. So he's a free agent this year.
He might be gone.
He's a free agent this year. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see what the Patriots do. He's 6'8".
Isaiah Wynn will be gone.
He'll probably be gone. Sorry, not 380, 370. Sorry. I want to get it right.
That's huge, though. 370.
He looks massive, but he gets beaten so many times. They had one of the worst pass block win rates in the NFL. If you want to listen to the show on the go, you can listen on anchor.fm/The Harvey Hour. That's anchor.fm/The Harvey Hour or anywhere you get your podcasts. You can also send in your questions by going to anchor.fm/The Harvey Hour/message, where you could sign up and then send in any question you have, and we will answer it live on air.